Greetings from Real Stuff, Real Change, Tuesday afternoon, early evening. This is Ryan Grubb. Hope you're having a great day. Hope the weather's good where you are. Spring is here, I guess. It's kind of still chilly outside, but it's not chilly in here. We're talking about emotional intelligence. We're talking about the ideals that that back up what it means to be emotionally healthy, emotionally well within yourself, how we represent our internal selves, the within ourselves, and how we use that to gain greater wholeness in our lives and create lives that are fun, that are epic, that are full of calmness and peace and happiness and actually things we want to do. And so again, today here we are, we're talking about another topic dealing with emotional intelligence. And if you're not familiar with what emotional intelligence is, it's the idea that really being aware of who you are emotionally and really taking charge of who you are emotionally in ways that give you freedom from the typical hurts and pains that you may have been living in day to day. It's the opportunity to be able to actually be okay with being okay and then creating a life that you want to live. And when we say that emotional intelligence is the key, we mean that when you are emotionally sound, emotionally intelligent, and aware and have a perspective that is strong and healthy, it is then that you can actually become dedicated to being the best salesman, the best teacher, the best minister, the best writer, the best doctor, lawyer, whatever you do, without being caught up in the web of emotional dysfunction. And so there's a lot of different things that we talk about. Today, I wanted to talk about how important it is to take charge of yourself. And what I mean by that is, we live in a world that is very, very programmed. And so we all have our own programs. We all grow up in different households. We're all from different families and cultures and dynamics, and we all have different parents. And we've all been given a different message as kids growing up. And these messages have pretty much indoctrinated us. They've created us. They've become who we are. And these messages we've carried for the entirety of our lives. And sometimes we carry them for so long, we don't even stop and smell the roses. We don't even know why we carry them. We don't even understand what they are. And nor do we really care sometimes because we're so busy surviving. And what I mean surviving is we're just going from one thing to another without any resonance, without any thought of why we're doing what we're doing. And so the idea of taking care of yourself really is kind of a metaphor for, hey, let's stop and smell the roses. Let's stop and smell the coffee. But let's really stop and smell the roses. Let's really stop and take a minute to think, why are we doing this? What is the reason that we're doing this? And when I think about taking care of yourself, I think about happiness and your own IQ. Now, when you think about your IQ, you think about academics, you think about intelligence, you think about getting a great job, you think about SAT, ACT, tests, the ASVAB, things that actually measure how smart you are in your brain, like your intelligence in terms of your smartness and your knowledge. And what I'm talking about when I think about intelligence and having high intelligence, I'm thinking emotional strength. And I'm thinking of moments when you can look within yourself, you can look at a past situation, and you can become disconnected from it. You can become better from it. You can become healthier from it. And as a matter of fact, it doesn't bother you, and you become so opposite of what it did that honestly, you kind of forget it. And so when you forget it, you recreate a different pattern from the present moving forward. And so when you have this measure of excellence through happiness, it's a true measure of who you really are. And what I mean by that is, if you think about the world around us, we're not measured by who we are. We're measured by what we do and what other people think and what they want from us and what we need to do for them. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And many of us are stuck in what I call robotic formulation. And what that means is we're actually responding to the world's desire for us to be like them. And you can say, no, 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 that's not true. I'm doing my own thing. I'm making my own way. I have my own career path. And that may be true. But when it comes to your emotional intelligence, it's really, really important to really look within why you do what you do. Are you willing to step out of that vortex of what everybody else is doing? Are you willing to have your own mindset, even if it means that you are not part of that group? And when I think about your own IQ, I think about, how well driven are you through emotional connection? How happy are you with being just who you are? And lastly, do you even know who you are? So when you take care of yourself, you actually find out who you are and why you're in and what makes you you. So growing up as a child, I was my family was all about working hard and lots of effort and the bootstrap mentality. I come from a background where my stepfather was a tremendous worker, still is, engineering background. And my mom came from nothing. She came from poor West Virginia, but she was very smart, and she believed if she worked harder than everybody else, she could get where she wanted to go. And while that is true to a point, the road will run out because there's a lack of understanding internally of who you are emotionally. When you are emotionally connected, when you are taking care of yourself emotionally, you become greater than just a guy or a girl who works hard. You become actually more powerful than you know. And what that does is it creates an IQ level emotionally that actually connects to the work and to the work ethic and to the knowledge, and makes you so much more powerful as a person. And so if you think about choosing how you feel when it comes to taking care of yourself, you actually have the ability to choose how you feel. You really don't have to follow the crowd, follow the mom, follow the dad, follow the sister, the brother, whatever you want to do. You actually can make decisions. Yes, you can make your own decisions on how you feel. The problem is most of us don't even know how we feel, because our feelings are based on what we do, not on who we are. So if you're taking care of yourself, what will happen is you'll start to become engaged with how you feel. It may not be comfortable at first, but what will end up happening is as you look inwardly into your life, as you deal with past memories, as you deal with past feelings and sensations and problems that have been carried with you throughout your life, you will then start to become a person who truly likes to take care of themselves emotionally. You will actually engage in emotional health. You will engage in being intelligently healthy emotionally. And to me, that is when the rubber meets the road. That is when you become the person you've always wanted to be. And it's not about how much money you make, and it's not about how successful you are, while those things will happen if you affirm those things internally into the emotional changes you're making. It's really about you being okay with you and finding out how you truly feel and taking care of yourself at the highest emotional level possible. So when you think about emotional health and taking care of yourself, two things come to mind. You can choose how you feel, and it is okay to be happy and have a high emotional intelligence. So one of the things that might be good for you to do this week is to really make a list of who you are. Like, who am I? Like, for me, for example, I am a caring, loving, passionate, considerate, fun, gregarious guy. And I write these things down, and then you start to really look at them in accordance with who you are. And then you can have the opportunity to really dial into your emotional intelligence. So that's just one of the little things that I think are important. There's a lot of little things that are important to this path. And at Real Stuff, Real Change, we work in a variety of different ways to help people release bad emotions and memories and sensations and feelings. We help them look at visual imageries that are maybe their future, what they would like it to look like, as opposed to what it is. We look at visual perception. We use distraction techniques. We use methods of of relaxation and breathing. And we use these and we combine these into patterns that help you, the client, become greater in touch with who you are emotionally. And it's not an easy process. In order to manufacture change, you have to start by being suggestible to the idea. And then you have to go inside yourself and you really have to ask yourself, who am I and what do I want to be? It's almost like you're going into a place of uncertainty that you've never been before because it's an unconscious programming. And then you're allowing that unconscious programming to be brought out so you can create a conscious reality that offers you the opportunity to be healthy emotionally. So with that being said, taking care of yourself emotionally is very important. So with that, check us out on the web, www.realstuffrealchange. You can also go to our Facebook page. By tomorrow, we are going to have a YouTube channel up with these videos on there. Feel free to click the link that will be on the Facebook page and on our website to check out what we're doing here with the videos. We do definitely want to give you more information about what we do. Just reach out to us. Let's talk more. Let's do some. Let's have some free consults. Let's talk about how we can help you change your life and you can take charge of your life and yourself moving forward. With that being said, this is Ryan Grubb. It's Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're doing. And you know what? Everybody's got real stuff and everybody wants real change. But to get it, you have to really dig deep into your life. So with that, we'll talk soon. Peace.